Okay, so we're going to start off our face with our face primer by e.l.f. This is the Poreless primer by e.l.f. I like this primer because it helps fill in any large pores that I may have going on and gives you a nice photo finish. Then I go into any places that I tend to crease foundation or eyeshadow wise with this glitter primer. And that helps fill in those creases that I have where my hood of my eye is, and the lines under my eye, the lines on my neck, the folds of my nose, and my smile lines. And this is going to be a little sticky, but like I said, it helps fill in those lines so that it doesn't crease as badly. Then I spray my face with the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 primer. And while my face is still moist, I set that with my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores setting powder. You only want to use a little bit of this. And I know most people put their setting powder on over their foundation, but I like to put it underneath my foundation and concealer to help prevent me from putting on too much. And it also helps to have my foundation and concealer set in place immediately after I put it on. You only want a light dusting, and this helps people who have dry combination skin like I do, so that you don't look flaky when you put on your setting powder. Then you want to fill in your eyebrows. Some people do their eyebrows after they've completed the rest of their face. I prefer to do that before because I do like to clean up my eyebrows with concealer. And if I use the concealer after I've done my foundation, then it will change the look completely. So after you fill in your brows, you want to blend that out with a brow brush so that you have a little slight gradation from start to finish, and it helps give you a more natural look. I then go around the top part of my brow and the beginning of the bottom part of my brow with a concealer that matches my foundation. And I do that because it helps prevent the halo brow look. Sometimes you see people who have filled in their brows and traced with concealer that is too light and they don't blend it out properly, so it just looks like their whole eyebrow is like kind of like a sticker. So then I go in with the tail end of my eyebrow with a lighter color so that you have that highlight on your brow bone that you do want, and that you can use a lighter concealer all over. Like I said, it does contribute to a halo brow, or it can just cause you to have more work for yourself by having to blend it out more than you actually have to. So by using a concealer that matches your skin, it helps to take some of that work out of blending too. I also like to blend out my brows with this concealer brush instead of using a blending sponge. To me, it has more controlled and concise strokes versus using a blending sponge. Sorry. You also want to make sure that you blend out the concealer that's supposed to match your skin first before you do the part that is lighter, because you don't want to mix the lighter part into the part that matches your concealer because it defeats the purpose. Then I go in with my NYX eyeshadow base primer in the color white. You can use colors, some of the other colors that are closer to your skin tone. I just like to use the white because it makes the colors pop a little bit better. Now I have my James Charles palette by Morphe, and I don't know the names of the colors right off, but I'm using a rusty orangish color. You can use whatever brand that you have on hand for this look. I am personally not someone that likes to promote particular brands over the other, because I was a drugstore makeup user forever, and didn't have a problem with the way my makeup came out before. But this is just the one that I chose to use today. So I'm blending out that rusty orange looking color up to my brow bone, and then I'm going in with a lighter brown first and then a darker brown second. And by adding the brown to the bottom part of my brow bone, it kind of adds more definition. I don't have deep set eyes, I have hooded eyes, so this kind of just adds a little bit more definition to where the brow bone is supposed to be. And it deepens that orangish color as well. After I finish blending out the brown, I'm going to go in with a pale yellow color. You want to use a color that's similar to your skin tone. I do have yellow and red undertones, but because my brow bone is highlighted with yellow, I went in with a soft yellow. Nick has gotten addicted to being involved in my makeup tutorials, so of course he is photobombing at the time. So this is where you see me blending out that harsh brown line with that pale yellow to soften that line to the degree that I would like. Today I'm trying to go for a more natural muted color foundation and eye look, so I'm trying to keep it as soft as possible. Next, I'm going to put on my concealer in the places where I would naturally put my highlight. I'm going to use white right underneath my eye and then follow that with a yellowish color. Both of these concealers are by LA Girl Pro. I'm going to highlight the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my chin, along with the jawline. And by highlighting, that helps to add light and definition to your foundation. You want to highlight in places where light naturally bounces off of your face. And today I'm doing my highlighting underneath my foundation so that it's not such a dramatic highlight. It's more of a muted, natural look. And you don't want to rush blending out these colors because that will also add to any cakiness or over buildup of product. So you want to blend out all of your highlighted areas first and then blend out your foundation. And you might have noticed that I used a silicone foundation applicator first. That helps to minimize overusing your product, because using a brush or a sponge to apply your foundation will soak into whatever you're using. So then you use more product because you're trying to get a better coverage. But by blending out that foundation with your silicone applicator first, you use a lot less product and you get a more smooth finish. Then I am contouring the hollows of my cheeks and contouring my forehead. You don't have to contour your forehead, but this large family heirloom that I have, I like to contour it to try to help minimize the broadness of it. So I am contouring my cheeks, my jawline, where there's a little extra fat that I do not like to emphasize. So I'm contouring anything that's going to help slim my face down. I also like to go over my eyebrows with a clear mascara. Sometimes you see makeup artists use gel or got to be glued to help seal those eyebrows in place, but I've been using the clear mascara for years, so that just helps put those eyebrows in place, and it also seals in the product that you've used on your eyebrows, so that if you do forget that you have makeup on and you wipe your face, it will help prevent some smudging. And then I went in with a black liner, just a regular generic black liner that I got from the hair store, and I did a cat or a winged eye. And then I did the inside of my eye with a pop of green. If you notice, I did the outside of my eye with black to add a little more sultriness, but it also is not a lot because it will prevent making my eyes look smaller than they already are. I then highlighted the inner parts of my eye as well as the brow bone with the light tan shimmery color that I found in the James Charles palette. And then on the brow bone area, I muted that white tan color with a more golden color and blended that out with my finger. And by putting the highlight in the inner parts of your eye, it adds a little more clean brightness to your eye and helps open them up. Now I'm lining my lips with a brown color. Again, this is just a generic brown pencil that I got from the hair store. I don't even know the name of it. It's probably Nicka K, I'm not sure. But I am just lining my lips, taking my time, because you don't want to overdraw, but you don't want to miss parts of your lips as well. And you can, if you have a person that has lips who are not symmetrical, you can also use your liner to help overdraw in areas where it's not symmetrical to help it make it look more symmetrical on both sides. Now I'm going into my Revolution palette called Cheek It, and I'm using that reddish color to put blush on my cheeks, on the apples of my cheeks, and just do that very lightly. I don't want it to look too rosy. I don't want to look like Saw. And then I went into my Wet n Wild illuminating palette and used the bronze color to highlight my cheeks and as well as the bridge of my nose. You want to use highlighter to help attract light to your face, but you don't want to use too much because you don't want to look metallic. If you do like to use a lot of illuminator, that's your preference. I personally just like to use just a little bit. And now I'm using that same lighter brown color that I used on the hollows of my cheeks and my forehead to help chisel out my nose and pronounce that a little bit more. Now I have this Nicka K matte brown lipstick. I did put a little bit of black around my lips before off camera, and then I'm filling my whole lip in with this brown color. I love Nicka K's matte lipsticks. They are very moisturizing, they last all day, and they're only like $3 at the hair store, and their colors are very vivid. Now I'm just using my Benefit Cosmetics Bang Bang mascara. This is my favorite mascara to use. It separates your lashes without making them look clumpy. I just want to use a little bit because I am putting on false lashes, and I'm just using the mascara to help curl my natural lash up into the false lash, so it prevents making it look like I have two sets of lashes. And if you have small or hooded eyes like I do, you want to use a lash that is longer on the outsides and shorter on the inside, so that it helps widen and open up your eyes instead of making them look more small than they actually are. Then I want to set the whole look with my hangover again, and that's the finished look.